Autism is something that I'll always have. It can be a hurdle in my life sometimes, but I always have it. I've always known my life to be with it. Wouldn't know any different. I always try not to let it stop me in my life. I want to always defeat the stereotype. I don't want to be put in a box. I just always want to help people, remain positive where I can, and just repay the support and sacrifices my mum's always made for me. She's always been there for me.
First of all, I was absolutely terrified.
In the future, I'd like to have a career in TV. And remember, no matter what your disability, don't let it get in the way of achieving your hopes and dreams and your goals in life. And try and go beyond your disability. I'm going to do that. I know. You wouldn't fit on one screen, so I've got a little bit.
Oh, James.
Sorry.
Stop moving. Wow. Just gonna hear me and Mel tell you off in your opponents.
That'd be funny. This brings my journey of going. No, it's just that first line, sorry. This brings my journey full circle. I'm currently studying my MA in television production and I hope to have a career in the TV industry. I'm due to graduate in July and I've made some close friends at university that have really helped me out. And remember, no matter if you've got a disability, don't let it go to stop you from achieving your hopes and dreams and go beyond a disability. This brings my journey full circle. I'm currently studying my MA in television production. I'm due to graduate in July. I made some really close friends at university who've helped me out a lot. I've enjoyed studying here and hopefully would like to have a career in TV. And remember, no matter if you've got a disability, don't let it stop you from achieving your hopes and dreams and go beyond your disability.
It's a 1 year anniversary episode, which I've called 1 Year Later, since I made the first one with the full length documentary. So it's going to be slightly different to the rest of the episodes on the series. So let's begin. So you might remember at the end of Beyond Disabilities, I ended with, remember, if you have a disability, don't let it get in the way of your hopes and dreams. And remember to go beyond your disabilities. And that was at the end of my master's degree 1 year ago. 1 year ago, obviously, I was searching for jobs in the summer holidays, trying to find jobs in the TV industry. And it's really, really hard because most people in TV, not all, start at the bottom as a runner or another entry-level role. And yeah, I'm just really, really persistent. I've always wanted to work in TV since I left university the first time in 2014. So let's take you back 1 year ago. Desperately trying to find a job. University recommended a website called mandy.com, but they were a lot of unpaid and free jobs, so I wouldn't recommend them personally. And then I decided, you know what, let's think outside the box. So to get my first job so there was these Facebook groups called People in TV Runners, Deaf and Disabled People in TV, which is a really good one. And if you're in the north of England or the north of the UK, TV Talent North are really good because they specialise in local opportunities around the north. So I joined them, kept applying, didn't really get anywhere. I then thought, oh, what can I do to stand out? So I decided to use LinkedIn and contact people who worked in productions, just simply asking at the end of the day, please can I send my CV to you, and then give a detail about my degree and what I got up to during it and what my passions were. Then, yeah, I got some lovely feedback. I got my CV stored on quite a few databases on production companies and channels. And then afterwards, I saw an advert. So an advert for a show that was filming near me called Dickinson's Real Deal, which for those of you not in the UK, Dickinson's Real Deal is an antique show which airs on ITV over here, where members of the public can go and get their antiques and items valued completely free to them, and then they can and then the dealer makes them an offer. They can decide whether or not to accept it or go to auction, and then if they go to auction or accept it, they get to keep the money. And it's hosted by David Dixon, who's a presenter and antique specialist. So I applied just on the off chance, and I was very lucky and very grateful that they offered me the job. Now I had no idea what I was doing because I knew what runners did loosely, you know what to do. So I turned up. This was must have been July or August last year. So I turned up, and then it was about, I think it was 7:30 call time. It's at a hotel near me, because Dixon's Real Deal, it travels across the country. It's not a studio-based show as such. It travels up and down the UK, asking people to come and get their antiques. So I was very open about my disabilities, that the autism distractor, so it will affect my hand-eye coordination, then all the elements I struggle with autism. So I decided, yeah, so I turned up. There was a lovely production team, a lovely production runner. Was very friendly, and we found out that we were all new entrants. So if you're looking to get into TV in the UK, can't recommend applying for Dickinson's Real Deal, because they're a very good way to get into the industry, and they're very, very keen on your entrance. So my first, because it was split into two halves the day, because we had lunch in the middle, which was kindly provided. So we rotated for the first and second half. So my first job was to check people in to the show, because obviously for security reasons, and to just keep a track of how many people are actually attending these events and these recordings. So my first job was checking people in. That required getting people to sign a consent form that they consent to be filmed, if they had any kids with them, to get them to sign a consent form on their behalf, handing out a little leaflet with a rundown of the day and what's likely to happen, and also a leaflet about the auction house that any items they wanted to could go to. So I did that, which was really fun, because I really like one thing I love is interacting with the public. Not everybody with autism does, but I love talking. I find it really fun and really exciting. I was a bit nervous to start with during the day, but that was fine, and hitting the ground running. That was really fun. Did that for the first half of the day. For the second half, I then went into looking after the VIP area, which is where members of the public were waiting to be seen by a dealer, because obviously it's a TV show. So it's not always done in one take. So they could be waiting a while. So I served them refreshments, beverages, answered any inquiries they had about the day or the filming. So I really, really enjoyed that. And I was really lucky because the lovely team asked me back for an additional 2 days. Now, the other 2 days were a bit different, because one day was a filming day, but the other 2 days I was partnered up with one of my friends, Zoe, who's quite a good friend of mine now. And we were handing out posters and leaflets and distributing them to the location where they were filming next. So that was good. We got a lot of interaction. In the end, we managed to hand out all the posters and flyers, which was really good. And we got quite a good attendance at the other filming locations, which was lovely. Then after that, it went a bit quiet, because that was in the autumn, in the August, sorry. Then in the autumn, at this point, I've been constantly sending my CV out on a weekly basis, maybe 2 weekly basis, and then updating it every time I got a new job. And then afterwards, I was lucky enough to be called by a game show over here called Moneyball in the UK, which is on ITV, asking if I had an interview with them over the phone, and that was my first proper studio experience, which I absolutely loved. And the team were brilliant. I had a great time being in the studio in a proper Saturday night game show feeling, which was amazing. If you haven't seen it, if you're in the UK, both series, I believe, are still available to watch. Actually, yeah, the series is available to watch on ITV Hub. Amazing. So my role was there. I just be proactive. I'm a polite person, very proactive. So I was just getting drinks for the crew, getting food, helping with anything on studio, helping checking in the audience. At the time, it was still it was in between lockdowns. I think, yeah, just before the December lockdown. So basically, we were checking COVID passes and just to answer any questions the audience might have. And yeah, it was brilliant. And yeah, I met some really nice people on that. Made some good friends. Maya, who I'll talk about later, I'm now living in my own place, which is really, really good. Been a long time coming, but no, it's lovely. Then Moneyball, I was lucky enough to get this. I know this sounded more like a TV, how to get into TV podcast rather than Beyond Disabilities. But I thought, big things that my life has gone from strength to strength in the last year through my work and through other things. So I thought I'd talk about TV first, and I'll get into the other bits later. After that, I was very lucky enough to get a job on The Voice Kids, helping with the auditions, which, again, if you're outside the UK, There's a global talent show called The Voice. They have a kids spin-off in the UK, and I think other countries as well. So I was helping out with the auditions with that, which was really, really fun, and really enjoyed it. And again, a very lovely team on The Voice. I've been very lucky. All my teams are lovely, have been lovely and brilliant, and so inclusive as well, which I think is important, especially with people with disabilities. Like, I think in any job, not just TV, an inclusive team work makes it, but also I'd say obviously it's up to you. I'd say you need to be, I'd say you probably feel better open up about your disabilities if you feel confident to as soon as you get the job, because you should never be discriminated against if you have a disability. And then they can put support in place to help make your job as easy for you as possible, rather than you worried all the time, like, oh, what if I find out I have a disability? Because every team I've worked with in TV has been so lovely and have put things in place to make it, and I haven't stressed about my disability at all. So Voice Kids was really good. Then after that, I worked on a dating show over here, First Dates Team, which was amazing because I'm a massive fan of First Dates, which is a dating show set in a restaurant. They match couples up blindly, and then afterwards they decide whether or not they want to go on a date or not on Channel 4. That was fun because I wasn't running on that. Unlike those shows, I was a login, which is, if you log in, you're basically making notes of everything that happens with time codes and everything. So mainly we were doing background shots, background conversations, datas, and what the waiters and serving staff were talking about. But it was really, really fun, and it was a dream to work on that. And then after First Dates was when my life changed brilliantly. For those of you not in the UK, there are two children's TV channels called CBBC and CBeebies. And I was very lucky enough to get a call from them asking if I'd like to work for them for 3 weeks. Now, I was over the moon because I grew up on CBBC and CBeebies, and it's just so much fun. As part of that, I was like, I get to dress up in costumes. I'm all for throwing myself in. I worked with some amazing presenters. I wrote some scripts as well, and honestly, I had the best time. It was just so much fun working in the team, and they are definitely an amazing, amazing, lovely team to work for. And I'd say they're probably where I felt more confident talking about my disability. I never shy away from it, but there was working for the BBC in particular. They're so inclusive. My managers have been so adaptive and put things in place to help me, being so supportive. So I was only meant to be there for 3 weeks. I was lucky enough to be there for 7 months, and it was brilliant. And as part of that, which I put a clip in now, I went on the BBC 100 Shades Story Tour. So for those who do not know, in the UK, outside the UK, the BBC, which is the public broadcaster in the UK, and they also have channels all around the world. They're 100 years old in 2022. And as part of that, they're going up and down the country to secondary schools, asking staff and then to share their stories about time. Could be anything really, but I talked about my autism and dyspraxia. It was so heartwarming seeing the kids, and just main reason I did it was to spread the word about disabilities, to help educate them, to show that, again, reason I do this podcast series is to show that just because you have a disability, it doesn't mean you can't achieve your hopes and dreams in life, because I've always wanted to work in TV, and I'm so lucky and grateful that I'm working in TV. And I met one of my good friends, Steph. She's neurodivergent as well, and she's lovely, and she's helped me a lot when working in BBC. We're still good friends now. But yeah, the tour was one of the most, I can't think of any words. It's just heartwarming, and yeah, absolutely love doing the tour. And I'm going back in October as well to do another round, which will be quite good. And update it with all things I've been up to since then. So that was amazing. And then lucky enough to get offered a job on the longest running children's TV show in the world for outside the UK. That's called Blue Peter, where they have presenters. They do presenter challenges, break world records. It's it is sort of a topical magazine show for children, but it's much more than that. Kids can write in and write for apply for badges, because there's different badges. You've got blue, which is the classic iconic badge, green, purple fan club, music, sport, silver, gold, and an orange competition badge. The team's so lovely. I've been lucky enough to help in location, help out in the studio. It's been, I can't believe in my first year working in TV, I've been so lucky to work on so many amazing shows and work with some amazing teams, brilliant, talented presenters, and I've been really lucky. So that's where I am now in my job. Outside of my job, I've published my stories. Now, if you didn't see the first episode, I'm an author. I've been writing stories about 15, 16 years now, but I've never felt confident enough to publish them. So I've been reworking, and I don't know, it just originally never felt complete because I've always had this idea of how my stories would end. So I start backwards from the end, but I've never realized how I wanted to, like the middle bit, the more bit, if you like. So I've been working on those, and I felt confident earlier this year to publish them on Amazon. If you search for Tales from the Eternia, that's basically all my stories from what I call the Eternia collection, which is basically every story for the first 15 years, because I'm also currently writing a brand new story called Broken Promises, which will be out next year, most likely, which is a standalone story. It's set in the same universe, but it's not aliens or anything, because my stories are mainly sci-fi fantasy, so it's more fantasy and less sci-fi in this one. So I'm really excited for that. I joined a creative writing group because one of my good friends, Tiff, asked if I wanted to go, which is absolutely brilliant, and have a great time. It's so much fun. Then also, big news, for the first time, I've moved into my own place recently, which is amazing, which is a big thing, I think, for someone with disabilities, because obviously they might be afraid to do so. They might not afraid, but maybe not feel confident enough. But I think you should just go for it. If you want to move out, and it's your choice entirely, because I'm sure that anyone's parents would want them to stay with them as long as they could. I would say just if you can afford it and you find it's the right place and the right time, go for it. Because I'm moving in with one of my friends who also works in TV, Maya, and it's very close to where I work. It's close to like local shops and things. So yeah, it's really good. So yeah, that's me up to date with life. Now, what do I want for the future? So hopefully, I hope to progress with my career. I'm very lucky to be where I am after a year, which is not the same for everyone. So I'm hoping to go up to a researcher level. Hopefully, I'd say within the next year. It'd be lovely if I could. I don't know. Different people take different times, and it's just being in the right place and the right time, where you feel confident enough to step up. I'd also, in the future, this is a bit way off, would like to own my own house. I'm enjoying where I am now. I'm not planning to move out anytime soon. Obviously, I'd like to do more episodes of Beyond Disabilities. So if you go on Instagram, Beyond Disabilities, then you can keep up to date with all latest information and when the next episodes are out. And also, because I do have quite a few plans, I just want to go out, keep going on adventures, keep going to theme parks, keep trying different things, different foods, and just live life to the fullest. and maybe in the future do a doctorate degree. I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't thought that far. I think go on. I love education, but I think I need to work on my career at the moment. So yeah, that is me. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Beyond Disabilities, a special 1 year later. I know most of it's been about TV, which wasn't my intention, but it's a big part of my life, and I love working in the TV industry. I'm very grateful to where I am, to all the teams who've taken a chance on me, to all the lovely friends and people I've worked with, to the brilliant presenters. And I hope to continue to do so for a long time and hopefully be lucky. So I thought about how I can end this episode, and to be honest, there's only one way I can end it, and that's with the ending of the original episode. So just because you have a disability doesn't mean you can't achieve your hopes and dreams. And remember to go beyond your disability.